Hey, I'm Eric. And people ask me, how do you get so good at pretending to be a church organist? And I tell them it's real easy. It's real easy. So on the keyboard, there's a bunch of keys, okay? There's white keys and there's black keys. You can use all of them. You don't have to stop yourself from using all of the keys on the keyboard. They're all there. You got the low keys, you got the high keys, okay? But the thing you don't want to ever do is press two keys that are right next to each other. They don't harmonize. It's discordant. You can try them on all of them. They don't harmonize. They sound bad. And you never, under any circumstances, want to push three keys next to each other together. It sounds terrible. You won't like it. Okay. So, here's another rule. Any single note that you play is going to sound okay. Okay? Any two notes that you play together are going to sound okay unless, again, you play two that are right next to each other. So I just pick any two keys. They sound all right. That one's got a little angst to it. Any two keys, anywhere. Okay, now here's a really weak move you can do. It's just so timid, but it still works. It's safe. It's completely safe. Any two keys that are a full octave apart, meaning, like, say I'm here, like right here on this side of this little key here. You press that, okay, and you can press the other key that's down here. That's basically the same note. So if you ever want to play two notes together that are completely safe, just play the same note, but in different octaves. An octave is like you go up or down a whole range of notes. Like if you ever heard that song from The Sound of Music? It goes do, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. And that will bring us back to do. And she says do, but she could have also said, and that will bring us back to do. It's the same note. It's just like it's higher, but it's the same note. It's basically the same note. Okay, and then if you want to play three notes, it's fine too. You can just pick three notes that are they've got a certain amount of spacing in between them. But if one of the notes that you pick is really okay, this is the tricky thing. Okay, so I told you don't ever play two notes that are right next to each other. Right? So you go like these two that are evenly spaced by one octave. They are the same note. They're just in a different octave, okay? But if I go up or down just a little bit, that is the same thing as playing two notes that are right next to each other. So I go, sounds terrible. So that's maybe like a thing. Like if you just don't want to get into that complexity, just stay in one octave, I guess. Just stay in that same notes. But I don't know. Be bold, I say. Be bold. Be bold. Okay. So mainly, you just don't want your big fat fucking fingers to get the two notes that are close to each other. And after that, I'm such an expert in this, by the way. You are learning from the very best. You just pick notes that they're not going to clash with each other. I'm not even looking at the keyboard. Okay, so now you've picked some notes that don't clash with each other. Okay, right? They harmonize. Then you might try like a number in a row. So you go. So, I screwed up. I picked two that were kind of close to each other. Okay, that's a chord progression. You go. Okay, but I just picked them pretty much randomly. Okay, but if you want to make it sound like you actually are playing a song that was intentional, then you just have to memorize what the hell the 4 things were that you did in a chord progression. Okay, then I'll repeat that again. But I didn't remember correctly. So if you really want to be a good player of pianos and keyboard instruments, you have to have good memorization of the notes that you played previously, so that when you add some more notes again, that they sound like they're part of like a coherent song. And that's the part I admit I have trouble with, because I'm not good at memorizing things. I'm also not good at playing the keyboard. I'm not good. Don't listen to anything I said. The only useful advice is for people who don't really want to be disciplined about learning how to play an instrument and just kind of want to fuck around and have it sort of sound good to them and probably nobody else. Then take the advice I just gave you. Absolutely take my advice if you're that kind of lazy ass person. Okay. So let's get past all that and let's move on to the real thing I'm here about, which is making my game. Okay. Now these streams, they all follow a certain structure. The first is some random amount of bullshit that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm actually supposed to be here for. You just endured that. Thank you. Second part is a demo of progress recently made. Third part is me actually doing work, proper work, making the progress. So let's get to the demo. Let's show you what I did yesterday. I think it was pretty good. I think it was a pretty cool end result. Okay, there's this thing called the Apple of Infinite Speed. And let me hit the play button. I'm just going to show it to you. I'm not going to tell you anything more about it. Show, don't tell. Then I gotta wait for Unity to load. It's gonna do it. There we go. Alright, so if you followed the stream, you've seen previous versions of this that weren't quite as good. This is the full meal deal here. So M, here's my character up here. Her name is M. I'm moving her around. And from this vantage point, this is what the apple looks and sounds like. Now when I drop down, the apple and the rings around it get a little more agitated. The music changed. Okay, now if I go up on the steps here that are leading up to it, another mode change. If I back off, it'll go back to its old mode. Calmer. So it's like it's warning you. You're about to do something dangerous. So I'll go back in again. This time I'll just grab the apple. That's it. And in the story, that is where M first gets her power to fling. She gets it from consuming the apple of infinite speed, which is what you just saw. And that lets her do this. Okay, that's the demo. Let's get to work. I never get tired of flinging. I never do. And when you get a chance to do it, you'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it. Well, I don't know you. I don't know what you love. Maybe you love slurping the innards of a dead squirrel. Maybe that's your thing. In which case, yeah, I have no way to predict if you're going to like this game or not, because there's no slurping the innards of a dead squirrel within it. Alright, unplay. Today my mission on this session is to get subtitles working. So there's a bunch of dialogue that the characters speak, and as it speaks, I want to display a subtitle on the screen that shows what they're saying. And also, later on, I want the default setting for the subtitles to be turned off, because it's my point of view, my aspiration, that we just take them off and let you, the player, hear what you hear. Because here's what subtitles do when you're playing a game, as opposed to like watching a movie. They give you a sense of impatience. So you hear the subtitle. I mean, you hear somebody start talking, and they'll say something like, "If we close the gate, then all the cows won't get out." And your eye can read that subtitle all the way through by the time the second word is spoken by the actor. So it's like, and at that moment, you are impatient. Now, it's not as bad when you're watching a movie, because in a movie, it's more of a kickback experience, and you're a little more passive. When you're playing a game, the game has your full attention. You're super alert and engaged most of the time, most people, when you're playing a game. So anything that kind of seems unnecessary and slow, it's just annoying, and you want to ignore it. You want to skip past it. You don't want that character to keep talking if you've already seen the subtitle. But yet, the payload of drama and emotion and humor that comes from the actor speaking and performing, that's not to be trifled with either. So, in my opinion, the best solution is to have subtitles available, but to turn them off by default. And that also means I'll have to have very clear vocals when the actors give their performances. That's accomplished with just good direction, basically, and an ability to get retakes. Used to run a VO studio. Still, you can't do it with subtitles because there's accessibility issues. Some people can't hear very well, myself included. Particularly if I want to play this game while a bunch of people are sleeping in the house, I'll have the audio turned way down low or off. Or at least I can picture situations like that. That's not truly my current situation. Right now, I'm quite able to turn the volume up a bit as I play. But yeah, then there's language issues and differently abled type things. So subtitles we will have. The other good thing that subtitles are really great for is, before I get all the recordings and have them in the game, just an ability to see the dialogue and how it ties into events that are triggered within the level. That's important too. It's a design tool for me while I'm developing dialogue that's linked into game events. Okay, subtitles. Now here's the nice part. I already coded it one time, and it may start working pretty quick. I just need to fix some things. So let me see. I think I have an older prefab that still has some of the game objects that I needed. Let me take a look at that. guessing this is Text Mess Pro. Let me just see if I can Goddamn, there's a lot of airplanes by my house. It's like they're all going to a single place. Like some kind of large compound of buildings with some roads on it that they can drive on, and yeah, and also should have like some warehouses that the planes can go inside of, and maybe some places for people to wait. It should be something like that should be near me, I think. I can't remember. Is this how it works? Is this how it happens? I cannot remember. Maybe I need to... Okay, let me look at the code, because the code is going to tell me what structure of game objects it expects. Okay. It expects to find a child object named text. Huh. Sounds fine. I think that's exactly what I just set up. Okay, what else do I need to do here? I think it might be the case that I need to move the subtitle pane onto the main object here. Is that right? I'm considering maybe I should put it on the booter. So booter is present between scene loads. So is there value in having subtitle text visible between scene loads? I don't think there is. If I want to do something kind of cinematic, you know, where like it fades to black and then somebody says some heavy shit while everything's in blackness and then it comes back into the next level, I can think of other ways I'd accomplish it. Like I might create a scene which is purely for that, just like a empty black scene that just plays some audio and then goes on the next scene. And also I think if I've got a character who has spoken a line and that's still playing while the scene is unloaded, I've made some other kind of mistake. Like I don't really want the baggage of the previous scene to be in the next scene unless it's very intentional. I can think of one other case that might be helpful. So if I was trying to be a little bit sneaky and load a second scene which looked exactly the same as the first scene but was different when you started walking around it, kind of like if you walk halfway through a long hallway, and there's a whole bunch of stuff behind you, a whole bunch of level stuff, and then you kind of want to do some sort of maybe like a seamless transition to another part of the level which is actually a different scene, then maybe it makes sense to show a subtitle that crosses over. I don't think so though. I think even in that case I would probably organize things such that there's no dialogue that's like supposed to be there going on while you're loading into the next scene. I just don't think that would ever end up being a good, reliable experience. So, okay, having played all through these different use cases and scenarios in my head, I think the subtitle pane belongs to the main object, which is part of the scene and doesn't get to stick around between level loads or scene loads. Okay. Have I put this in the right location? I think I would know if, yep, there it is. I give this a 23% chance of working the very first time I try it. Let's save it. Alright, I think it did not work. Let me turn off the maximize on play. Let's go see what error message I have. Probably lots and lots of error messages. Zero error messages. Okay. What to think about that? Let me change a few things so that they're One of these days I ought to rig up a camera or something so you can see these planes, because they are just crazy. It's just amazing how close they are to me when they come by. Let's see. And there's so many of them, and they're all going like different directions when they come in. Like they're not all angled at the same angle to go onto the runway. So sometimes it looks like three planes all coming in for the World Trade Center at one time. Sorry if people are actually still hurting over 9/11 or anything like that, but it does have a vaguely threatening quality about. There will be, these airplanes that look like they're almost on a collision course with me, and I'm just sitting here doing my work. And then they fly over my house, and they just go off in like all these different vectors. Okay. Yeah, one of these days I'll get another cam set up so you can see it. It's pretty cool. So let me fix some of the hacks I put in for the level editor. Or level controller, I mean. Get rid of that. Okay, then let's put M in the proper starting location of the level. The room where M was born into a brand new world. A world she is unfamiliar with. All right, there she goes. So, all right, I'm gonna try this again. My theory is like maybe the level controller state is not quite right, but I know that I've got code in here that will say some stuff when I come out. Actually, it should say some stuff at the very beginning when I'm just inside the room. So that code should get should get exercised. Let's try it. Let us try it. Okay, so the subtitle code is not even being called. It went from birth room. Okay, it went from nowhere to birth room. If I get to the plank, it's supposed to say some stuff, so let me break point here. Oh. Well, did it detect the birth room to the west plank? No, it did not. Maybe my zone is set wrong? Let's see if I can find the zone. That looks 100% correct. I don't think I have a general problem with the zones because over in the other room with the apple, the east room, it detected me going into the different zones. From to birth room in 0 state. Zero state is going to be like hello. Alright, let me see if I can get the active zone to change at all. Weird. What did I do? That's really strange. What is even selected? Okay. Stop. I just don't like what it's doing. I don't know why it did that. But I don't want to see anything more like that. Okay, yes. Go back to what you were. That freaked me out. I'm so paranoid about some kind of corruption getting put into this project because I've already had to deal with it so many times. I'm like your great-grandparents that lived through the Depression and they can't stop hoarding food. Maybe I'll pass down through epigenetics a fear of corruption. No, I won't pass down anything because I don't have any kids. Maybe I'll pass down to you a fear of corruption. so let me just step through this. Something fundamentals is a little bit fucked, but it's probably going to be a quick fix as soon as I see it. A lot of things are working as they should. There we go. Okay. Our current state is 0. The old zone is empty. We are nowhere yet. Or we are nowhere right now. Okay. The new zone, birth room. Okay. So then, bam. Okay. So the state, I expect it to be state hello. Is that true? Yes, it is. I expect that we have not said hello yet. I don't think you'll get... Let's see. What's the speech ID? Yep. Character M. Yep. Line, something about her disorientation. Yeah, what? Offset 0. Okay, that's fine. Yep. So I think I want to get to here, which is where the actual... Okay, do I have a speech event? I got 2. Good. To play. Yeah. So where is the subtitle thingy? Subtitle pane set line. It's going to be there. Okay. Oh. Okay, that's weird. what did I intend with this logic that seems wrong to me? I know it worked before, so that's the weird part about it. So you don't have an audio clip, I expect that. Okay, so this basically means we have an audio clip, but it has not yet begun playing. But it seems to me that I could play this. I could play this. I could set the subtitle line ahead of this logic. The weird thing to me is, how did it ever work? Because this was working code at one point. So I'm reluctant to change it, but it seems wrong to me when I look at it now, and it's not working. So the mystery to me is, how did it ever work? And am I screwing something up if I change it from what it is now? I think I am just going to have to change it, because, I mean, it's not like it's not the Sistine Chapel, you know. It's not, you don't have to take great care in restoring it or anything like that. Just got to make it work. So I expect it not to work with this code, and I'll need to change the code. So let me just look through here. Anything else with subtitles? It's just those two things. Okay, the one thing I would like to retain, if it's not too hard, maybe it's just kind of built in. So the thing I was sort of worried about is, does it cause like a performance issues if I call this every single time? So there's definitely some execution that's going on here. Some basic string parsing. When setLine is called, yeah, it's just going to set it. It's going to do this again and again and again and again. So I probably won't notice it, but it feels kind of crappy. Maybe I'll just compromise a little bit and say, yeah, it's like nothing to do here. So yeah, that'll be fine for now, I think. And then later on, when I get to a performance optimization phase, you know, I can see, you know, where am I spending time in execution. Oh, God. Never change code and save while Unity is still playing. It attempts to do something it's unable to do, which is use the new code and keep everything going. Actually, I think it is possible for it to keep working, but it would require you to not be using things like static variables, and it definitely changes the state of things stored in data in a way that breaks it. Okay, so and we keep this breakpoint here. Save. Oh, also I wouldn't mind getting the camera in the right spot, so let's fix that. Much as I love looking at the apple, let's move it over to the level start. Oh. All right, save that. Really? Come on. Come on. Come on. I should have fixed it. Why would that not fix it? Wait a minute, did I save everything? That's probably it. I didn't save everything, but that's it. Yeah. The clue is that when I set the breakpoint here, it put it on the wrong line. There we go. Now it's on the right line. Okay, now it's going to set this. Okay, so I know it's setting it. There we go. there's some other issue about it detecting that I've gone to a different zone. Let me drop on the floor, see if it detects that. Okay, it did detect that. My subtitles are working fine. Huh, interesting. So it thinks I'm going back into the birth room. Oh, I think I know what it is. I think I have conflicting zones. The door daemon did his job. Okay. Okay. So I am not going to sign myself up to fix all of the level controller bugs right now. But I think I'm going to see if I can get that first one fixed. That shouldn't be too hard. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it will be hard. I think I might have a conflicting or redundant zone here. So I've got this birth room over here, and this is the old location of it. But it's conflicting with the other one up here. So what I'll do, I'll just get rid of this other one, the old one. That means I'll have to move these guys. Oh man, there's so much stuff in here too. It's like it put everything inside the birth room. Wait, what's that? Okay, not everything. just a hell of a lot of stuff. Okay, so get that. Come on. Okay. Okay, the birth room is now empty, so I can delete that. This one was a level sector. Yep. Okay. So if I do that, I bet it's a different experience. Let me not save yet. I've just got this feeling like what I did was a tiny bit dangerous, so I'm going to hit play. See, the better way to do this would be okay. So I'll do that, which is like a checkpoint I can go back to. I'll save this. I just saved. Now I'm going to hit play. I'm even going to be optimistic that this is my final victory lap in the level before I shut down the session. So I hit maximize, because that makes a better victory lap. This is where I could throw a rock at my car's window that I claimed was shatterproof and actually break the window. Hello! There it is, fixed. Ah. Okay, you can't see the God hands coming in and scaring him because there's another thing I have to do, which I'll do in a different session. But subtitles, working like a champ, just like I intended. And now I'm not flying as blind as far as the events in the level, what state the level controller is in. Okay, that's it. That is a session. I'm happy with my results. I hope you are too. And if you aren't, go suck on some squirrel innards and enjoy that instead. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream right now.